Welcome and thanks for joining me at Race Country Cottage Thai House Build Week 26 update. It's been a fantastic week, as you can see. Nice blue skies, hardly ever a cloud, cool, pleasant evenings. So what have we been up to this week? Well, we're going to take a bit of a drone tour over to the house, which is up the country road that leads to the property. So we managed to pour stairs and finish off the sidewalk. Makes it great to get into the house now, easy. Had some stone people here putting on stone facade, the lower part of the house outside. And our tiler, he's been busy at work as well. So come along and join me for this week's update. Appreciate all the views and thanks for the comments. Cheers. So last week we poured the footpaths around the house. So I thought I'd do a bit of a drone, just fly around in a circle so you can see the end result of the footpaths in place. I think they did a good job. There's control joints been cut into the concrete that you'll see, so that hopefully we'll have good sidewalks going forward. I'll let it just play out with music. So last week you saw in the video that the pouring of our footpaths around the house. Once it was cured, they removed the formwork and this is the end result. As you can see, there's a 300 millimeter gap between the wall and the footpath for a geotech fabric and gravel to go in. Then the footpath team were back to also cut in control joints. They troweled in control joints around the house in various spots in the footpath, but they've made them deeper with the sawing out method, as you can see here. So hopefully the sidewalks, should they move and decide to crack, because they're not against the foundation, certainly most of it, and with the 300 millimeter gap and with the control joints cut, they should hopefully crack along those joints. Then the big thing was the pouring of the stairs. So the stairs are 2.3 millimeters wide. They're 2.3 meters wide, 1.3 meters deep, and 450 millimeter treads, so they're easy to step on. So they started out by just setting the frame of the stair in place after they'd measured them all out. And then they partially fill the gap with sand and then pour concrete on it. The builder called it a lean. So they just pour this concrete all over the sand to make it hard and create a firm base for further form work, and that you'll see as the video goes along. All done by hand, of course. Just mixed in a big bucket and then hand poured. But it makes very strong base for further work. So here you can see he's pretty well completed his lean with the concrete on the sand. And just move around there's 4 stairs around the house. It's easy access at various points. And just finishing off the back stair lean. Reasonable thickness of concrete over this sand base. Obviously the standard way they do things. So once that lean had dried up, it was about pulling down the metal bars that had been placed into the slab when they first started the house to give some strength and I guess holds the stairs to the house. And you can see here that they're chiseling out the concrete around these pieces of rebar that were put in when the slab was poured many months ago, so that they can bend them down, as you saw in the earlier video. And they used this tool to do a lot of the bending. You can see some have been bent, and he's trying to get more of it down. So with some persistent work, this fella manages to get the next piece of rebar down on the lean, as you can see, and then uses this tool to bend it down like the others. So, good work, mate. So here you can see some of the completed work. They've got all the rebar tied together and putting in the form work for the steps, and there it is, as you can see, all completed, ready for the concrete. And miraculously, the truck has arrived. And I said about pouring the concrete into the forms. So it's fairly thick concrete, this. It's not particularly wet, as you can see, which is probably the thickest concrete I've seen before. So special mixture for steps on purpose, as I understand it. They use the stick to tamp it down to make sure it fills up completely in the formwork. And this is the back steps. Couldn't get the truck close enough to use the boom, so they have to put it into the bucket and pail it in by hand. So that took a little bit longer, but ends up with the same result, just a lot of manual work to get it done. I'm certainly glad it was them, not me. So without concrete all in the forms, and it was a matter of trowel work to smooth it all out. So it was about a team of 5 or 6, I think, working on it, and they're all troweled up and ready for setting. And overnight, it sets up enough to take the formwork off and ready for use. Really happy with the look of the steps, and they're so easy to walk on. So one of the other achievements this week was the stone facade. So here the workers are putting in the edge beads, the render edge bead, along the top of the porch, where the tiling on the porch will go, to give them the proper height face to apply the stone. So here they've got the top edge in, and they've put in the side measurements. You can see the little dots of concrete along to how thick a render will need to be. Good, they're using a level. And here they start to render the sides of the porch. So there are 2 or 3 applications actually of the render to get it to the correct thickness. They don't put it all on at once. They put it on over a few days just to get to the right thickness. They even have help from their grandson. So once the render was done, they managed to start putting the limestone, the black limestone, onto the side. So here you can see them at work, applying the adhesive to the back of each piece of stone and then putting it on. So small pieces of black limestone, but with the lighthouse color and the black trim and the black stones. These stones will be cleaned, and they'll have a special coating placed on them that will bring out the black. They'll be quite shiny when it's all done. So here you can see kind of the front what it looks like with the stones all applied. So we did it across the front, the side, and then the back porch as well. So pretty happy with the results. So another piece of ongoing work this week was tiling. As I said earlier, previous videos is going to take a while. So the tiler spent time here working on the kitchen. He's drilling out some of the bricks that are in, and he needs to make some room to put the tile and the mortar in, so it lines up with the other tiles. He's really happy with our tiler. He takes his time, gets his measurements right. His work has really been really first class so far. We're really happy. So there he's taking some measurements, and he's got his tile cutter tool, and he just does what he needs to in terms of cutting the tile to the right size. Put some mortar on and applies it to the side of the counter. So when it's all done, the kitchen counter is going to look quite nice, I think. Just showing some of the work in case people haven't seen how the tiling is done. And then just a shot. They've got obviously corner beads that they apply, and it really finishes off nicely. Here he started to tile on the inside of the lower kitchen cabinets, so not only on the outside, but they'll be tiled on the inside, so they're nice. So here we brought 3 pieces of kitchen cabinetry over so that he could measure the cabinets. And that's a double door. He wanted to make sure they would fit. He's happy with the fit. And just see what they look like. And then there's a single door that he tried. And then there's also a gas door. So everything fit. Here he's just filling in the back of the island where there'll be a cabinet on the other side to allow cupboard one side. And you can see here, that'll be the cupboard opening in the island. So there's lots of lower cupboard space and cabinets coming at the top. All the green, dark green Kitcho Zoll cabinetry. My partner tidying up. So happy with our kitchen space. It's going to be quite good. Some stools under the bench. And this is the master bath, starting to put in the bricks to delineate the shower area. It's got most of the walls and everything done. Got the counters, tops also tiled. Just got the edge pieces to put on, tidy up. So happy with the look so far. The countertops, the vanity top here is the same as the kitchen vanity top. You get an idea of what's happening. So this is the spare guest bathroom, and walls are pretty well done. They're just starting to put the shower wall up, and then you get around to the floor tiles, and once the wall's in place. So I suspect next week the bathrooms will all be totally finished. And just a shot of him starting to do the shower wall will go up to, you can see the mark at the back, it'll go up that high, and then there'll be glass bricks going up farther, so to about 2 meters at the top, I guess, or 1.8 meters to anti-splash wall. So when you're showering, it's not going everywhere in the bathroom. Whether we need to put a door on or not in the shower cubicle, we'll wait and see how we go after we move in. Can always add a glass door if we need one. And so we'll leave him building the shower wall. He also elevated the bathroom floor and made a dip in for the shower. So happy with that. Painter team was here this week for a couple of days doing some preparation for the external painting. and doing the soffits and ceilings around the house. We also went around to clean the side walls where they were dirty, and once again in preparation of the external painting, which hopefully will take place next week. At least get a base coat on next week. So here you can just see him. He's been scrubbing and washing the walls and sanding the walls to get rid of the splashed dirt that had got up there. And the guy in the foreground, he's the guy doing some of the stonework. And that's the color of the ceilings on the porch. And that will be the porch tile, and on the right that's the wall color with the trim. So hopefully it'll all come together. And that's just some sample of the tile to go on the porch. Some other matters this week, we had curtains made for one room just to see what they look like in the curtain shop. So they're this browny beigey color. You can see here, we took them over at the house. That's the floor tile down, and the roll-up curtain just there hanging just to see what it would look like against the paint color. We also looked for some stones for the 30 mil space that we need to fill beside the house, and we found this river quarry, and the lady selling these river rocks. So we had a look at what's available. And while we're out there, we decided to have a coffee in the afternoon and along the side of the Mekong, and we found this nice coffee shop. It's fairly new, very nicely decked out, and it had some lovely treats for us to enjoy. Why not? Chocolate cake and other delectable things. So that's it for this week. Thanks for joining me. Look forward to sharing next week's work with you, and until then, cheers.